For the longest time, we've all thought of Tesla as a car company. A super ambitious one for sure, but still, a car company. Well, that whole story is changing, like right now. What we're seeing is this incredible moment of convergence, where all these different ventures that were promised for years are suddenly maturing and clicking into place, all at the same time.
And this quote from Hyperchange just nails it. When you hear serious analysts starting to talk about a rocket company as an AI company, you know the entire game has changed. This isn't just about Tesla anymore. We're talking about a whole tech ecosystem that's about to shake up entire industries, both here on Earth and, well, way up there.
And look, this isn't some pie-in-the-sky 10-year plan we're talking about. The engines that have been quietly revving in the background for the better part of a decade, well, they're all firing up at once. The future that always seemed to be just over the horizon is, for all intents and purposes, here today.
So take a look at these puzzle pieces up here. Each one of these is a massive multi-billion-dollar idea on its own, right? You've got EV manufacturing at scale, a huge energy storage business, full self-driving AI, a robotaxi network, and yeah, even a humanoid robot. But the real story, the part nobody's been talking about, is how they all connect. That's when you start to see the true scale of what's being built.
Okay, so what's the glue holding all of this together? What's the secret sauce? It's the one thing most people never even see, but it's probably the most critical piece of all. Tesla's own, custom-designed AI chip, the Lynchpin.
Think about what Apple did with the iPhone when they started making their own chips. Tesla is doing the exact same thing for its hardware. This isn't just some off-the-shelf processor they bought. Nope. This is a brain, built from the ground up, designed specifically for the insane demands of running a car, a robot, and a whole lot more.
And let me be clear, this is about way more than just making a car drive a little smoother. By owning the chip design, Tesla gets to control everything: performance, cost, efficiency, and its own future. It's their secret weapon. It's what lets them jump into totally new, crazy profitable areas, like AI compute.
So that gets you thinking, right? If you've managed to build an AI chip that is so powerful and so efficient that it can be the brain for a fleet of 1 million autonomous cars all over the planet, what happens when you take that tech and, point it at the stars?
And that's where things get really wild. This is where the convergence of Tesla and SpaceX could create something no one saw coming, building giant AI data centers in orbit. Why space? Well, think about it. You've got unlimited free solar power, a perfect ice-cold vacuum for cooling, and come on, the ultimate physical security. It sounds crazy, but when you break it down, it's actually the next logical step. And get this. An analysis from Brian Wang suggests that a whopping 70% of the value of one of these future space data centers, it isn't the rocket or the solar panels, it's the AI chips inside. That one number flips the whole script. It makes Tesla the absolute core, the key supplier in this brand new space economy.
Okay, so let's look at how this all stacks up. It's actually pretty brilliant. First, you've got SpaceX for the launch, and they're really the only ones who can do it this cheaply at scale. Then, Tesla brings the brains, those custom chips we talked about. X.AI trains the models that run on those chips. And here's the kicker. Solar City's tech provides the juice, free, endless solar power. It's a completely closed-loop, vertically integrated system for AI, but off-planet.
And this just shows you how deep their competitive advantage is. Right now, the big bottleneck in AI is getting enough chips from, say, NVIDIA. But tomorrow, for this next-gen stuff, the bottleneck is just getting it all up there. And who basically owns the only toll road to orbit? SpaceX. They own the front door.
Okay, so data centers in the sky, that's the long game. But let's bring it back down to Earth for a minute, because there's another huge disruption happening right now, and it's powered by that very same core tech. I'm talking about the Robotaxi race. And this isn't just about who has the better tech, it's a full-on clash of business models.
Which leads us to the question that's on everybody's mind, right? How long can Waymo, a company that's been doing this for over a decade, really hold on to their lead when they're up against Tesla's totally different approach? All right, let's just break this down. On one hand, you have Waymo. They're the leader today, no doubt. They've got about 3,000 cars on the road, pulling in a real, respectable $350 million a year. But here's the catch. Their model is slow, and it is expensive. They have to buy cars from other manufacturers and then spend a fortune retrofitting every single one. Tesla's approach? It's the complete opposite. Their path to a 1 million-car fleet is a software update.
And that right there, that's the whole ballgame. Waymo's problem is a physical one. How many cars can we buy and modify?
Tesla's problem, it's red tape, it's bureaucracy. The moment they get a green light in a new city, bam, they could, in theory, activate a massive fleet overnight. It's a totally different kind of problem to have, and it's a huge structural advantage.
Okay, so let's step back for a second. When you put all these pieces together, the custom chips, the orbital data centers, the self-driving cars, the robots, what are we even looking at anymore? It's not a car company. It's something totally new. A new kind of tech paradigm.
So this sets up a really interesting debate, right? If you're a betting person, where do you put your money? Do you go with Tesla, with the almost here cash gusher from Robotaxis and the Optimus robot? Or do you go with SpaceX, the company that controls the gate to this, potentially unlimited space economy? It's Earth versus space, near-term cash versus long-term potential.
And just to give you an idea of how big that space economy could be, there are rumors that SpaceX is already looking at an IPO valuation of, wait for it, $1.5 trillion. I mean, think about that. That's basically what Tesla's entire market cap is today. And that's before this whole space data center thing has even really started. The numbers are just staggering.
Hey, remember Solar City? Yeah, that deal from 2016 that made investors absolutely panic. The one everyone called a bailout and a total failure? Well, it might just be the ultimate comeback story. It was seen as a total write-off for years, but now it's suddenly the missing piece of the puzzle, the key to powering a whole new economy in orbit. Talk about playing the long game.
And this all points to a fundamental shift in the story. For years, the biggest risk for these companies was just going broke, running out of cash. That's not the risk anymore, not even close. When you get this powerful, when one ecosystem starts to control our cars, our energy, and even computing in space, the biggest threat isn't financial failure, it's backlash.
Which really leaves us with the biggest question of all. Forget the stock price and the business models for a minute. What actually happens to society when a single interconnected technology becomes this powerful, this fast? That's the real next chapter, and it's one we're all going to be living through.